From averaging over 8,000 players in December last year to around 500 players today, this is the gradual downfall of Project Playtime. This all started back on the 6th of December 2022. Everyone was getting hyped up for the new game's release. Prior to this, a 10-day countdown had started, amplifying the hype even more. 7:30 strikes. It's pure silence. The only thing you can hear is the sound of Discord messages flooding in, all excited to get their hands on the newly released game. 10 minutes pass. It's nothing out of the ordinary, though every game isn't exactly on time, right? 1 hour passes. People aren't too concerned, but they know something's up, with the Discord chat saying things such as, "There should have been a set time, to be honest. At this point, this just seems kinda unprofessional," and most likely delayed because of technical difficulties or bug fixing, which isn't anything unseen before. 6 hours pass. Still no word from the development team on what is going on. 12 hours pass. Mob Entertainment finally informs players of what has occurred, specifying that they were having server backend issues, until a post 5 days later, specifying that a new release date had been chosen. The game would indefinitely release on the 12th of December. The day finally arrives, the announcement is created, and the game is released. Within hours of its release, the amount of bug reports and complaints was like nothing you've ever seen before, page after page after page. Although the development team worked tirelessly on the game, it would soon become clear that releasing the game in this state would come with large consequences. The bugs. Within the first few weeks of Project Playtime's release, the amount of bugs and glitches players were experiencing was immense. Primarily the first 3 or so weeks that it took to get large patches out, but even then there were quite a few. These bugs range from T-posing killers and broken customization screens to falling out of the map mid-game, making players often rage quit or criticize the game. Though fans of Mob Entertainment's prior games, such as Project Playtime, waited it out till stabilization and didn't care much for first impressions. But you might ask, why does this still matter? Well, one of the most important aspects when it comes to a game's player base is first impressions. And unfortunately, with the bug-filled state Project Playtime was in for around 2 months or so, the player base dropped drastically. But why'd the developers of Project Playtime release it early, knowing it's in that state? Well, their game Project Playtime released Chapter 2 earlier in May, and they were focusing hard on their first major multiplayer game afterwards, wanting to release a different style within their Project Playtime franchise. At the same time while developing this game, Mob Entertainment were also and are still working on Project Playtime Chapter 3, with that upcoming title being a main priority for them, and knowing that it will take quite a while for it to release. They got to work and wanted to release Project Playtime as soon as possible, ending up promising a way too early of a date, and that's how it went. Though, let's get back to how Project Playtime is today and why it's losing players every single day. Project Playtime is competing with asymmetrical horror games such as Dead by Daylight. And as a whole, asymmetrical horror unfortunately isn't even a massive game genre either, including that with the not so good first impression this game gave to its players. We can see a problem, and it becomes much more clear as we go to steamcharts.com. We can see that around the month the game released, it was averaging around 8,000 concurrent players, which isn't too shabby. And then the next month averaging 3,500 concurrent players, which isn't anything super crazy as players are finding out whether they like the game or not. Though the issue arises when we see the months that follow, going down to 2,000, then around 1,000, and as of recently, 500 players. We can clearly see that as time goes on, the game is getting less and less concurrent players. Though upon every new season in the game, there is a small peak and potential, though that isn't too often and it hasn't helped a whole lot as of recently. Take Season 2 for example. Then going back to how the development team is focusing on another game primarily, Project Playtime barely gets any updates. Along with that, when events occur, it's never anything super special, unlike Fortnite for example, with just more items in the store or such, instead of events to obtain items or playthrough. On a more positive note, this game has a lot of potential. It's actually a fun concept, although ridden with many issues, such as the ticket system, which when you max out 3 perks, there's no use for the tickets you earn anymore, leaving you to save up thousands without any point, and there's many more things like that. Project Playtime truly is a great concept, although it wasn't well delivered, hence badly received as well. With the game's gradual player loss, no new rewards, and lack of content, Project Playtime's average player base continues to drop, whilst other Mob Entertainment games are more popular and engaging for their fans. This game's release has not gone far with new and former players. Many will agree that the game is great fun, but unfortunately, its future is not looking bright.